Good morning. Today I want to explain to you the wiring on this 22mm Honeywell zone bulb. Now it's quite simple. You've got five wires. You have brown, grey, blue, orange, yellow and green. The brown is generally the supply wire that comes from your room stat or your cylinder stat. The grey is a permanent live, blue obviously neutral, orange is switch live, back to the boiler, the pump and boiler, and your earth. Now, it's very simple. You've obviously got live neutral earth, which you must have. If you haven't got any of these, the zone valve just won't work. And then you've obviously got your brown, as I previously said, that's coming from, so in your wiring centre, if you've got a room stat or a cylinder stat, that will send supply to that brown. Now, when you get 240 on that brown, it basically turns the motor inside the zone valve. There's like a little micro switch in there. That will then transfer all the power onto this orange, and that will actually activate the boiler and the pump. Now it's very simple to do. Whenever I go to a job, the first thing I check is the 3-amp fuse spur. Generally that's down by the boiler or next to the programmer. So I always check I've got 230, 240 there. From that point, I will then go on to the programmer. I will then unscrew the face of the programmer, put my tester on the live and neutral just to check that I got 240 going to the program. If I got that, I then go on to the next section. Now, from the programmer, you've either got hot water or heating. Now, in this instance, we're going to be checking the cylinder stat. So, from the programmer, that will then go to number 1 on the cylinder stat, if it's a Honeywell. Now, go up to the airing cupboard. You then check that you've got 240 going on to number 1. Okay, if you've got that, you know that the programmer is obviously doing what it's supposed to be doing. Then what you need to do is check the other side of the cylinder stat, which is marked up as C, meaning common. Common is generally referred to as a return wire. Now, that wire then should go to the brown on the junction box, on the 10-way junction box. Okay, so I'll be now going up to the junction box. I'll be now testing for 240 at that brown, where the common also would join into the brown. Check for 240. If I've got 240, I then know that the cylinder stat is okay. Next test I've got to do, I've got to make sure that that brown is sending electric to the orange. So again, I'll check the orange to see if there's 240. If there's 240, then it proves that everything's working okay. So it might be an external problem with the boiler or what have you. If you don't get an orange, if you don't get a live at the orange, this indicates that the motor within the zone valve is not turning, therefore putting 240 onto the orange. So you know then that the zone valve is knackered, so you need to change it. I always replace the zone valve, never the head. Likewise, if you go back through, if you're not getting juice from the cylinder stat, i.e. 240, you know it's the cylinder stat. This is not rocket science, it's not hard. I mean, you're only looking at a switch, and you're only looking at really 2 main wires that are in charge of the function of the zone valve. And obviously back from that, we can also check to see if other controls are working, i.e. programmer or cylinder stat. Well, I hope that explains everything. All right, I've been doing it for a long time, so from my point of view, it does come across as being quite easy. But if you have any comments or you want to follow or share, or drop me a message. If you've got any problems, give us a shout. Thank you very much. Bye bye.